4 and 5 of the Standard newspaper. The same can be said for the Daily Nation. For them, their headline is, "Crash driver was 72 years old." So this... let me begin with you. Truly sad news. Yes. This is not a way, for Kenyans to be celebrating a public holiday. A lot of families, 56 souls, have gone just because of reckless driving. Yes. Now, is the government responding the right way to these scenarios, given that this year, so far, the number of road accidents and the lives that have been lost are way higher compared to last year, and even December is not here yet?
I think now you will see Minister Matiang'i yapping and making noise and jumping, and the police will be hot air and trying to bring in knee-jerk solutions to a problem that they know really exists and has not been addressed the way it should have been addressed. Our problem is that we have vehicles moving on the road, but they are not being driven. You understand what I mean? Somehow you do a abracadabra to get a driving license, and you're on the road. If you see the way the matatus and these vehicles are driven, they have no idea about traffic regulations. They don't know. And I found it very interesting that even me, I did not know the speed limit. Last Sunday, I was stopped by the traffic policeman. I had done, I think, 111. Then he stopped me and I told him, I thought it is 120. I thought it's 120. What do you mean? He said, it is 100. And then I said, sorry, I'm a lawyer, but now if I don't know this, what about all these others? So you see, many of us do not understand the traffic rules. Then we go to River Road and we buy the driving licenses, and there is no central data of who has a driving license in this country, which school he went to, and so on and so forth. So you go to a driving school to ensure that they continue having clients. Nobody fails. Because if I come to a driving school and I fail or my child fails, we will not come to yours.
So what I'm hearing from you is that, number one, the issue of lack of knowledge of rules, driving,
fake driving licenses, the ones which are bought, and then lack of enforcement. So you see the way people drive. They are just moving vehicles from point A to point B. The result is what you see.
All right, Honorable Farah Malim, nevertheless, despite the fact that, yes, it's human error, a lot that causes it, which Weather has clearly well painted out the picture, a lot of it also has to come from the lack of obeying laws, in the sense that with this specific accident that we've seen the country lose 52 lives. One, the driver is 72 years old. Number two, they were driving at night, which is illegal. Number three, the bus was overloaded. So leave alone just what Weather is saying. This is the other cause as well. The fact that Kenyans and drivers do not have any respect for law.
You see, respect for law, respect for regulations does not come from goodwill of the masses. It comes from the enforcement of those laws and the price you pay when you infringe on those laws. Now, because of the fact that a number of times have said that corruption has become a national value in this country.
Right.
It's literally assumed a place in our lives that supersedes everything else. With money, there is nothing you cannot do. In Kenya, you can do anything you want. You can kill and get away with it. You can buy justice the way you want. You can look at the kind of things that are happening right now in our law courts. You know what I mean. You see certain things, and they happen all the way to the Supreme Court. All the way to the Supreme Court. There are judgments or there are rulings that are coming out of that makes it look like a court of first instance. And you see, basically, there is nowhere the police, the civil service, the judiciary, it's become a national value. So because of that, the lack of the enforcement of the law itself is what allows people to break the law with impunity and to feel like, look, I can buy my way around. And that's how it is, basically, that's how it is. And so you have a problem in the country And we have never had a Michuki. We have had a lot of hot air from a number of places, but we've never had somebody like Michuki to come out here and say, no, the rules are the rules, and I don't care whoever contravenes the rules, that contravenes the laws, will face the full face of the law itself.
So what do we do, Mheshimiwa? Because number one, the travel ban at night was reinstated back. This is, of course, after an activist back in January 2018 who went and challenged it. It was temporarily removed. The issue of overloading, again, maybe perhaps the passengers should have spoken out. What do we do?
I'll tell you what you need to do. This bus left Nairobi, am I right? And it rolled where? In Kakamega?
No, in Kericho.
In Kericho. Everybody who was on duty along that line, who was a police officer, who was from NTSA, the National Transport Safety Authority, anybody who was supposed to have stopped that bus and charged the driver and offloaded those passengers should now lose his job immediately.
But if my memory serves me right, NTSA were removed from the roads?
You're right, they were removed from the roads.
So
yes,
do you think we should have them back?
But the police have also been there now. What happened to the police? I mean, how many police, traffic or no, how many police roadblocks did this bus go through? How many times was it stopped? Every person who has, or every team or the leadership of those teams that were there, if they lose their jobs tomorrow and they're brought to court, and the courts also have failed to take cognizance of the fact that the courts also sometimes need to play the social component, you know what I mean? You have to save society, you have to save the nation. It's not just straight judicial, what do you call, rulings that are given, but sometimes you look at the state of the country itself and you go for the maximum penalty so that this becomes a proper deterrent. But right now you can do whatever you want and you go to court, and if you are going to be remanded by one court, you go to the next court. As long as you can pay the price, you will be released. You'll be saying it's there in the Constitution. Yes, it's there in the Constitution. It's there in every constitution in the world. But they enforce their laws to the letter, and every arm of the government also is aware of what needs to be done to have that discipline in the country.
So on that same tune, gentlemen, do you remember December 2017, the Salga accident that killed 36, we lost 36 people? So Honorable Kipruto, the thing with road accidents, big talk, but actions zero. And according to also what Honorable Farah Malim is saying is that there are regulations, there are bodies like NTSA, we have these things in order, but nothing seems to be working out.
First of all, allow me to say pole to those who lost their loved ones. At the same time, pray for the souls of those who departed yesterday. Once I've said that, it's important that we recognize that national culture pervades every aspect of our lives. Excuse me. Yesterday, as I drove to Kambani and back, you realize a lot of bad manners on the roads. You realize a number of people overtaking you at the wrong place, doing all manner of things just to move on the road, the way Ndugueda said.